So when you're in the world and not of it, but actually pretending that you are, you actually, your beliefs tell you that you are of the world. That's why it's so important that you do everything you can do to survive, because you feel like you're somehow at risk. Okay, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if you're not at risk, that's all right. But you feel like you're at risk, and it looks like you're at risk because we think we're of the physical, mental, emotional sense of self and world. We don't really understand that those are ways that we enjoy this theme park. That's how this theme park runs. It was never designed to be serious. It was designed to be something we observed and enjoyed and shared, and there were things we would gather from it. But anyways, when you're working within the world with trial and error, cause and effect, you'll find yourself trying to affect permanent, better than you can imagine, or hopefully the best change you can affect. The more you do that, the more you find out how impossible that is, and how that's it, how the world is not subject. I mean, you're not going to be able to fix it. You don't know. It's insane. It's irrational. There is no true method of affecting it. We try to employ spiritual teachings to it, but that's to the whole. That's why why people end up asking, why does God allow this? Those kind of questions. Well, tragedies that occur, murders, abuse, all sorts of things, and we say, well, why does God allow that? It's not, God's not a person, but it isn't that God allows this. We're the ones doing it. We're the ones doing it with our mind collectively, trying to insanely find some sort of a way through through all the clouds, and finding we can't. But we need to practice that. And as you practice that, what starts to happen as you start becoming more aware and you're willing toward a friendly world, I've talked about this, if you're willing to, basically willing to start seeing that world, to find out and become able to make a choice as to living by that way. When you're encountering all the things in the hostile world, you have to keep doing that until you run it in the ground. That's, by and large, that's what you got to do. Unless, of course, which is where I'm headed, and hopefully many of you are headed now too, we come together now. We're at a good place now to come together, and we don't have to run our individual boats into the ground. We don't have to run our individual, what we think is our lives, in the ground. We don't have to run what we see as the world into the ground. We can simply see that it's not true, that the meaning in it is, we don't know what the meaning is of the world, but we don't have to accept the meaning that our perception tells us exists, what this means. When that starts to happen, you'll finally get to a place, collectively you come there faster. That's again why I'm trying to do this group idea together. But individually even, it'll end up in a collapse. For most people, that collapse comes at physical death for a lot of the really hard stuff. Why? Because we're good at holding on. We're really good at holding on till the very end, until you finally have to, like John D. He didn't let go of it till the very end. But we can let go of it now. That is happening. I'm doing that. There's others that are doing that. And collectively, you can do that. We can do that together. As we see that that's not working, how we really start to see that it's not working is when we start realizing we don't have any juice, we don't have any vision for it, we don't have any motivation, we can't see can't see ourselves doing any of this stuff to try and make it happen. We don't have any faith in the outcome of our efforts to change things. When that happens, that's actually a great thing. A lot of times that ends up in depression, which is a great thing too once you finally understand it, because depression, it's kind of like the stages of death and dying through all things Kubler-Ross's. The first ones are denial, anger, bargaining, very active. Then you get down to the fourth one, which is depression. And when you're in depression, you're right on the edge. You're right on the edge of breakthrough. We don't realize that we're right on the edge of breakthrough, because it's basically our spirit and soul saying, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And your mind is saying, well, we have to. Your ego's saying, well, we have to. But you can't. You can't do it anymore. And when you can't do it anymore, and you start to see that, the possibility for another way, like outside the box, becomes visible, audible. You can. It's like you're available to see it. And I'm gonna. This one's gonna. These are 6-minute videos, but I think they just take that long for me to kind of get this through, I guess. So I'll end this one, and then I'll start on the next one.